Here in Evansville, demolition continues at the former Sauced restaurant after a fire broke out on Christmas Day. The Italian restaurant was located in the reimagined historic home in the heart of Haney's Corner Arts District until it was destroyed by the large fire. After being approved earlier this month, demolition on the building and the adjoining apartments started on Monday. Well, sunny skies and very warm temperatures around the tri-state today. Meteorologist Sam Copeland is standing by with a check of your Wednesday afternoon forecast.
Well, again, check out this cobalt blue sky over Evansville. Just another really nice day that's shaping up all across the region thanks to this area of high pressure that's in place. Few clouds well off towards the west. Rest of us are seeing basically 100% sunshine. Again, thanks to that area of high pressure leading to sinking air. And that's what's leading to today being such a spectacular day. We're already tracking a few degrees warmer than where we were this time yesterday. When I showed you this map yesterday, it was upper 60s. Right now, it's already low 70s across the map. 70 Jasper, 71 Henderson, and 73 degrees down in Princeton. Throughout the day today, expect numbers to pop into the upper 70s to low 80s with a lot of sun, maybe a few high clouds by the time we get to sunset. If anything, that makes for a spectacular sunset. Otherwise, we are quiet with temps dropping into the upper 50s to low 60s. So we are bright and warm today. Shower and storm risk does look to return. I'll time out those and also share my thoughts on if there's any severe risk we need to worry about with that chance. We're turning hot down the line. It's all coming up in your 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Sam. New at noon, free tetanus shots are available for Henderson County residents today. From 1 o'clock until 4, Henderson County EMA will have a clinic set up at the command post. The health department is offering the free shots for anyone who is working to clean up flood debris, especially if you have an open cut. If you drive along the Lloyd Expressway on the west side of Evansville, get ready for some major delays. NDOT is starting a pothole patching project this week. 40 News reporter Courtney Green has more on what drivers can expect and how one local says potholes are just part of daily life here.
NDOT crews will continue pothole patching on the Lloyd Expressway from Posey County Line Road to Rosenberg Avenue Wednesday. Work kicks off at 4 a.m. and will run until at least 2 p.m. through Wednesday, and drivers should expect delays, especially during the morning commute. For some drivers in Evansville, dodging potholes has become second nature.
Basically, everywhere I go, every trip we take, wherever we need to do is basically, you can pretty much sum it up as like avoiding potholes.
Joshua Thomas Driscoll moved here from Alabama 3 years ago and says the roads here have changed the way he drives.
My driving skills have gotten a whole lot better here, like learning how to dodge potholes. I mean, because it's the thing is like it only takes that first time of really bottoming out in one of these craters and realizing like the damage it's going to be doing to your vehicle to like start trying to be a little more careful. But the thing is like at a certain point, unfortunately, we get to the point where it's almost more potholes than road.
And he says the impact isn't just felt behind the wheel.
Bicycles, skateboards, roller skates, strollers, you know, it's not just cars, pedestrians, you know, it's not just vehicles that have to avoid potholes. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, anytime you're getting out in public trying to get around, you know, it's something to consider for everybody.
Driscoll also cycles and says even a small effort to fix the problem is worth celebrating.
And you know, any little action taken to improve people's quality of life is to be applauded, supported, and celebrated. So let's keep it up.
Again, pothole patching will happen from 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wednesday. So if your commute takes you down the Lloyd, be prepared to slow down. Reporting in Evansville, Courtney Green, 44 News.
Thank you, Courtney. Meanwhile, over in Owensboro, the Regional Water Source Agency will begin a series of manhole repair projects earlier today. Officials say this will require temporary closures of multiple intersections over the coming months. A list can be seen on your screen right now. We're told each repair location will have a posted traffic control plan to help out drivers. And staying in Davis County, officials say a section of Griffith Station Road will remain closed for multiple weeks. Take a look at this. Officials say the road suffered extensive damage from rushing floodwaters. The pavement was completely washed from the road and landed into a neighboring field. Davis County Public Works will be repairing the road and removing flood debris from other county roads as quickly and as safely as possible. Well, markets rally as President Donald Trump softens his tone on the Fed chief and the trade war with China. We have the latest from Capitol Hill. And here's a live look from our 44 Skycam network at this hour here in Evansville. A beautiful day to enjoy lunch outside, and some of you may even need the sunscreen today. Join us again after the break for another check of your forecast. Welcome back. New at noon, President Donald Trump projected confidence in his trade talks late Tuesday. Trade negotiations continue with individual countries, including in India, where Vice President J.D. Vance met with the country's prime minister. This as tariff uncertainty has sent financial markets on a roller coaster, but stock futures jumped today. Investors are also reacting as President Donald Trump changed his stance on Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
I have no intention of firing him. I would like to see him be a little more active in terms of his idea to lower interest rates.
Thursday, the president posted on social media, Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. After the Fed chair warned the president's tariffs would likely lead to stagflation. In Massachusetts, opening statements were presented Tuesday in the second murder trial of Karen Reed. Reed is accused of hitting John O'Keefe, her Boston police officer boyfriend, with her SUV in 2022 and leaving him to die in the snow. A mistrial was declared last year after the jury failed to reach a unanimous verdict. The man who killed 7 people at a July 4th parade in Highland Park, Illinois in 2022 will be sentenced today. Robert Cremo III pleaded guilty to a list of charges including murder and attempted murder. Cremo just changed his plea right before opening statements began in his trial. The 24-year-old faces life in prison.
And now, Storm Team 44, powered by Bracket Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Well, here's a look at Evansville this afternoon. East Cam, bright blue skies, very beautiful day once again. Winds are light, humidity still remains low, and temperatures are quite comfortable. Radar, satellite, well, if there were clouds, they would show them, but there's not really anything going on with high pressure in place. That's why we're seeing the terrific conditions around. The nearest showers are over 100 plus miles away over central Missouri, and we're going to stay dry over the next basically 36 hours or so. The next time we're talking about any precip would be late Thursday night, but especially into the day on Friday. Numbers are already tracking some 5 to almost 10 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday, so that will allow most of us to break into the 80s by the time we get into the afternoon, or at least right around 80. 80 Evansville, this is 3 o'clock this afternoon. Most spots are in the upper 70s at the very least. Jasper 79, Fairfield 78, with just at times maybe a high cloud or two fanning on through. This evening we'll also track a little bit milder than where we were 24 hours ago, so it will be overall warmer nights, most of us only dropping down to right around 60 degrees. That will be a launching pad to get us back into the 80s for the day tomorrow. Now, tomorrow will feature a few more clouds. It's these unsettled conditions off towards our west that will be moving on in late Thursday night, but mainly into the day on Friday. Watch how this plays out. Friday itself, some scattered showers and even an isolated storm. This is the center of that area of low pressure, which is leading to the disturbed weather. And we just don't have the same ingredients, fortunately, that we've had with earlier severe weather events, which means, yes, there can be downpours. Yes, there can be an isolated stronger storm, but by no means does this look like a widespread severe risk. That gets the boot. We have temporarily cooler conditions, drier conditions for Saturday, but we'll be warming back up next week and also bring back some stormy conditions. It's looking like overall generally an inch or less of rain, but there can be some isolated instances if you get under a downpour at seeing a little bit more than that into the day on Friday. Forecast today, anything but unsettled, terrific. 82 degrees, sunshine, and a few afternoon clouds with a light wind. Tonight, we'll bottom out right around 60 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Starting off at 60 gets us easily back to near 80 for the day tomorrow. Isolated clouds in the morning, more widespread clouds the second half of the day with a very stray chance late day of a scattered shower or storm. Better chance at hit or miss storms by the time we get to Friday. Could be a few downpours as well. Does not look like a large, by any stretch of the imagination, severe weather threat. Much cooler Saturday. Look at that low in the upper 40s. 87 by the time we get to Monday.
New at noon, this morning, the body of Pope Francis was carried to St. Peter's Basilica to lie in state for public viewing. Tens of thousands of people are expected to file through the Vatican between today and Saturday, the date of the pontiff's funeral. Nora O'Donnell reports this afternoon from Rome.
Good afternoon from here in Rome. We just actually came back from St. Peter's Square, where we were talking to just some of the thousands of people who have come out today to wait in long lines to pay their respects to Pope Francis, who will lie in state for some 3 days inside St. Peter's Basilica. One person all the way from Mexico said they were here because Pope Francis changed her life and changed the world. We had the privilege of a private viewing of Pope Francis last night in his home at Casa Santa Marta, in the chapel there where he used to pray every single day. I just want to take you inside the room because it was just an extraordinary moment. It was silent. We were just feet away from the Pope. At one point you could hear a little girl crying, but other than that, people wanted to say goodbye, nuns and priests and people who work in the Vatican. And as we left, we were given this prayer card from Pope Francis, a way to remember him in these final days, as many people are coming here to remember him. The state funeral is still planned for Saturday with leaders from all around the world, including President Trump, President Zelensky of Ukraine. Prince William will also be here in St. Peter's Square for this final funeral mass. I'm Nora O'Donnell for CBS News in Rome.
A leading cause of death in the U.S. I'm Michael George with the new CPR guidance that could save more lives.
Across our 44 Skycam network this afternoon, temperatures will reach the upper 70s around the tri-state today and hit the upper 80s tomorrow. But as Storm Team 44 mentioned earlier, rain chances are returning to the tri-state to end the work week. Welcome back. For your health this afternoon, drowning is the #1 cause of death for children ages 1 to 4. CPR can be life-saving, but the guidelines for performing it on drowning victims have recently changed. Michael George explains.
What happened to 3-year-old Judah Brown could happen to any family. His mom, Christy, says Judah slipped away at a friend's barbecue and got into the pool. When they found him several minutes later, he wasn't breathing. Bystanders tried to resuscitate him with chest compressions, but not rescue breaths.
And I do believe that if he had gotten those breaths, if we had known to do those breaths, then he possibly could have survived his drowning.
Until recently, guidelines for CPR have focused on chest compressions to save drowning victims. But now the American Heart Association and the American Academy of Pediatrics have updated their guidelines, saying rescue breaths are also critical.
It makes a difference.
Dr. Cameron Desfoulian explained both compressions and breathing are life-saving.
Somebody who drowned and then their heart stopped, the reason it stopped was there was no oxygen. So if you don't somehow provide them that oxygen back, it's really not all that helpful to circulate the deoxygenated blood around their body.
Michael Smith of the American Heart Association teaches CPR.
So Michael, let's say we have a drowning victim here. Under the new guidelines, what do we do?
I'm going right into compressions. Right in the center of the chest, I'm pushing down at least 2 inches at a rate of 100 to 120 per minute.
After 30 compressions, he starts rescue breaths.
Pinch the nose, tilt the head back. 1 breath, 2 breaths.
Christy Brown started the Judah Brown Project, which helps educate adults and kids about preventing drownings. She says the change is long overdue.
We in the drowning prevention community have long time believed that the rescue breaths are absolutely necessary for resuscitation after drowning.
And every parent should be CPR trained. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Also for your health, just an extra 15 minutes of sleep can actually help brain development in young people. A study published in Cell Reports found 11 and 12-year-olds who sleep an average of 7 hours and 25 minutes performed better during the day compared to those who only got 7 hours and 10 minutes of sleep. Researchers point out the recommended amount of sleep is at least 8 hours. Family and friends who care for someone with dementia are more likely to be physically aggressive or neglectful if they drink an excessive amount of alcohol on a regular basis. Health researchers found any alcohol use also led to greater odds of poor outcomes. This includes grabbing, biting, yelling, and not helping the patient with daily hygiene. Our last weekend of April will bring storms to the tri-state, but until then, we are soaking up the beautiful conditions around tri-state. Join us again after the break for a final look at the forecast. Welcome back. Here's a live look from our 44 Skycam network at this hour, this time in downtown Owensboro. Smothers Park looking much better than it did a few weeks ago, but some rain is on the way to the area. Let's get a final look at your forecast at this noon hour.
And now, Storm Team 44, powered by Bracket Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Well, for the day today, expect temperatures to be in the upper 70s to low 80s with a lot of sunshine around. Jasper 80, 81 Evansville, 80 Henderson to Morganfield, Marion, Yard 80, 83 Central City, and 79 degrees in Fairfield. Just a few high clouds at times. Otherwise, we continue to remain very quiet. Overnight tonight, mid to upper 50s. A lot of us were just hanging right around 60 degrees. That's the case in Evansville to Henderson, 62 Princeton, 58 in Harrisburg, and a pair of 5s in Fairfield overnight tonight. So the conditions remain quiet. They remain warm. We'll tack on another day remaining quiet for the day tomorrow, outside of maybe an isolated shower or storm off towards the west late day, and just a few more clouds. Most of us are tranquil. Friday, better chance at some scattered showers and storms. Could be some downpours. Not looking at a widespread severe weather threat, but not going to rule out an isolated stronger storm. 70 and cooler on Saturday, 87 by the time we get to Monday.
All right, thank you, Sam, for that update, and thank you at home for making 44 News at noon your choice in local news. Join us again this evening for 44 News at 4, 5, and 6. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day.
Connect with 44 News anytime, anywhere for the latest local news and weather updates.